This is Kelsey, and you are listening to Cheering from the Cheap Seats.
What's up, cheap seaters? It's Nick,
And Adam.
and this is episode 4 of Cheering from the Cheap Seats. That's 004.
Wah, 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 wah. That was a hype horn.
Oh, it was. Is that what you were going for?
No, that's what it was.
Sounds like a kazoo. I'm sorry.
Need to listen
I'm
more-
in a mood. I
Need to
apologize.
listen to more hip hop.
I guess. I suppose. But yeah, anyways, so we're here. Like I said, this is episode 4, 004. And how you doing today, bud?
I am fantastic. Looking forward to this episode.
You are, huh?
Yep. Calling it now. Best episode yet.
Oh, 4 episodes in, and you're already calling it the best episode yet?
Yeah, well, there's not many it has to be better than. Only 3.
That is
so.
true. That's true. Okay, I'll give it to you. But yeah, so this episode, we're we just came off of another review episode. We did our Carolina Panther Fan Fest. If you haven't listened to that one, please go back and listen to it. I think we both gave the Fan Fest a pretty decent score. I feel like for a Fan Fest, it was pretty
Yeah,
highly ranked.
For a non-game event.
Yeah. So yeah, we did our review. So now we're back to, it's not really, usually we would put in a list kind of episode, but today it's a little bit different. We're not really going to be listing anything, but we are going to be talking about our favorite sports moments that we have seen live. And when I say live, that could either be in person or on TV, because technically when you're watching it on TV, it's still live. So
Wait a minute. So I can't talk about the Tennessee winning that conference championship, Peyton Manning bringing them back from the
cusp
of defeat that I saw a few days ago on ESPNU.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh man,
Cannot claim that you saw that live.
hey, it was
You're like 12 years late. For
first
that
time I saw it, so it was new to me. I didn't know what was going to happen.
one. Actually, I say 12 years late. It's more like 25 years late. Good Lord, I forget it's 2021 and 12 years would only make it 2009. And he was at Tennessee a lot longer than he wasn't at Tennessee in 2009. So 25 years, you're 25 years late. So but yeah, so we're not doing a review today, or not a review. Let me try that again. We're not doing a review. We're also not doing a list today. We're just gonna just talk about our favorite moments. Just thought it'd be kind of difficult to. There's so much that we want to talk about. Like, I feel like it would have been really difficult to just kind of list it from like 10 to 1 or 5 to 1, whatever we decided to do. So we're just gonna kind of shoot the crap and just talk about it.
Yeah, I've got a few definite ones I'm throwing in there, but I'll probably think of a few here as we're recording.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention to our last couple episodes, we can get a little long-winded. So we're probably going to be sitting here talking and be like, oh, yeah.
I'm going to do our best to not go as long as we did last week. So
No promise.
So we'll see.
Don't get mad at us. But
so, I guess real quick, we'll kind of do current events, what's happening in the sports world real quick.
Don't do the ESPN thing. We don't want to get sued, remember?
I need to come up with my own theme music. There you go. Heard it here first. That's our new Cheap Seats News
Copyright it
music.
Well, so do you have something you want to talk about? Or do you want me to?
Well, I'll lead off with probably my favorite thing that happened over the past weekend.
I figured you wanted to lead off with this one.
For all of our wrestling fans.
Yes, we are talking about wrestling. We apologize for non-wrestling fans. Yes, wrestling is a sport. Don't get mad at us.
Okay.
It's a sport.
It's a sport with predetermined results.
No, I'm.
But they are.
I am not knocking wrestling. Like, wrestlers are just as much. Like, wrestlers are more athletes than some athletes are.
Oh,
so
absolutely. But so one of my favorite wrestlers from since I've started watching in 2013 around there, CM Punk.
Best in the world.
The best in the world. It says so right there in his motto. He left in after Royal Rumble 2000 and I don't know. He's been gone for 7 years. So it was 7 years ago. Quick math.
2014.
2014. Okay.
Sure.
So he
Somebody check that.
he went and so he left. He was upset with WWE. You know.
Which at that time I'm sorry.
Oh no, go
But
for
once
it.
once you hear why he was upset with WWE, like
Rightfully so.
then you'll be like, I agree with him because I agree with him.
Mm-hmm.
I still agree with him.
So he did his thing. He had 2 UFC fights. Got killed. Just terrible. But man, he's like a 40-some-year-old man going and trying to do MMA for the first time.
Also, I don't feel like CM Punk is like he's kind of a skinny dude too. So,
Yeah, well, I mean, he was fighting in his weight class, so you know.
no, I guess
but-
it's just a bunch of skinny dudes.
But he's
without each
just
other.
had no experience.
That's true.
you know.
Yeah. Okay.
So, anyways, over the weekend, AEW had their show on Friday, Rampage, and it was long rumored, that Punk was making a comeback,
Yep.
and I hate that I forgot to watch it live, but I was at the beach, so it was kind of hard, anyways. But I've since watched it, and leading off the show, the crowd. It's in Chicago, his hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Crowd is just going crazy, chanting his name. How it hits Cult of Personality. It's theme music for anybody that doesn't know. And out he comes, and he's emotional.
Yeah, very much so.
Like people in the crowd are emotional. There's a dude crying.
I saw a meme or something on Facebook that crying CM Punk dude is going to be in the pantheon of emotional wrestling fans from throughout the history of emotional wrestling fans.
Like, what can I say? I may have been the same way. So if I was there, but
well, I won't say I cried, but I did get I watched the video too, and I definitely got some chills.
yeah. So, in other words, WWE just lost the war, in my opinion. Like,
I feel like,
or not, maybe not lost, but it's definitely shots fired.
oh no doubt. I mean, there's been a lot of guys that have left WWE and gone to AEW, and I mean, and I don't feel like any. I mean, there's been some big names. I mean, you have Jericho. Jericho helped start AEW, so you know, and then you had Dean Ambrose. He's in there. Sting's in there now, but I don't feel like there's been sought out more. Or I can't even talk. My brain just completely jumbled those words together. I apologize. I don't feel like there's been a person that's been sought out more, or people have wanted to come back more than CM Punk. I mean, CM Punk, his name has been chanted in arenas and anything else since he left.
Especially anytime they were in Chicago. And, it's what kept me watching WWE for a while. Just the hope that he wouldn't make a surprise return, and it got just too boring and bad, to do. But now I think I'm going to have to watch AEW every week now.
I've always been a Sting fan.
So, me too.
So I mean that already kind of pushed me towards wanting to watch it a little bit. But now that Punk's back,
and
I definitely might need to watch it.
It's just
now.
so much easier to watch too. It's an hour, I think.
Yeah.
And no filler. There's no time for bullcrap. It's just in and out. And then 4 pay-per-views a year instead of 1 a month. So they are they have to be important and good.
Yeah.
So
I cannot force myself to watch WWE anymore.
yeah.
And it pains me. I mean, it used to pain me because I mean there were some pretty good talent in WWE. Like AJ Styles is another one of my favorite wrestlers, and he's in WWE now. But I just find the product so painfully boring that I just cannot force myself to watch it. And I'm just like, I'm missing his prime years on probably the biggest stage that he ever going to be on. And
I mean, mean, SummerSlam happened the same weekend, and the big thing that happened was Brock, after Roman Reigns beat John Cena, Brock Lesnar interrupted, and I feel like we're in 2013 again, like, or 2016, or whatever, whenever that feud
Still.
happened. Like,
And what gets me is, I mean, people are going to look at it and be like, well, you know, AEW's turning into like old school WCW. They're bringing in all the talent that WWE's let go. Well, my difference is, like, WWE brings in part-timers and old guys and automatically pushes them into the main event scene.
mm-hmm.
I don't feel like AEW's doing that very much.
No, they're definitely pushing their young talent. Like, they're homegrown. Like, the first guy Punk is fighting is Darby Allin. I haven't watched a whole lot, but he's one of their homegrown guys that is almost a star now. He's working with Sting,
Yeah.
and Punk said he wants to come in and work with the young guys, and he's the first one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, see, like Sting, yes, Sting's 60 years old, but he's not fighting for a heavyweight championship, unlike Goldberg, who was in a championship match at SummerSlam.
Goldberg was my favorite as a kid, but even I say that's ridiculous.
It is, especially when you look at the talent that WWE has. All right, but instead of having the young guys in a title scene, your two championship matches were Bobby Lashley versus Goldberg. If you can see my face right now, you'd understand how much absolutely pains me to say that phrase. And then your other one was Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Once again, I get it. John Cena's the face of your company. He's been the face of your company for a long time. But you have so much younger talent that you can put into the scene that it almost feels like you brought back Cena just so you could make the Cena money.
Yeah, I would say even if you're going to watch WWE, just watch NXT.
Oh,
Like, that's an hour-long
By
show
far.
weekly, and it's their younger guys that, you know, I mean, they're trying to make it to the main roster, but it's just so much more entertaining, better storylines.
I just can't do WWE anymore. And now that there's, I mean, now that, you know, AEW has Chris Jericho, now that AEW has Dean Ambrose, now that AEW has Sting and CM Punk, and there's rumors that Daniel Bryan's going to be coming along too. Yeah, I think I'm siding with AEW from here on out.
We might have to keep a lookout for a AEW show coming to Charlotte or anywhere
I'd be down.
nearby.
I would be down.
So
I mean, it can't be any more boring than the SmackDown that we went to a few years ago. I mean, I love live wrestling, but, like, once again, like, it's even come to the point to where even the live shows are just boring.
Yep.
So
Anyway, so
that's. I mean, I'm cool with leading that off because that's some really big news, especially for. I mean, we talked before, like, we're not nearly as big wrestling fans as we used to be, but we still follow the product.
yeah,
And, you know, seeing CM Punk back and involved with one of the younger guys in AEW gets me excited.
oh
Like,
yeah,
it makes you want to go back and watch it.
yeah. Oh, you better believe I'm getting that first pay per view that he's going to be on.
Well, you might have to invite me over and we can watch
We'll
it.
make it happen. Might do a quick recap or something. If we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that would make for a great part of the show.
Yeah. Well, we had our bi-weekly wrestling talk. Anything else you got?
I guess one of the bigger newses.
Newses.
New word.
Newsies.
New word, guys. Newses. I guess recent big news for all you baseball fans is if you haven't seen, but Miguel Cabrera of the Detroit Tigers has just recently joined the 500 Homer Club, which is just amazing to think about. Like, I mean, you look at it, and I think it said he's the 28th person to join the 500 Homer Club, which when you kind of see 28th, you're like, you know, that's not that great of an accomplishment. But then you think about just how many people have played baseball, MLB baseball, for the last 100+ years. Then you kind of look at it to where it's like, well, 28 is not that big, or 28th is more impressive than it might come off as. So
I mean, by far, definitely impressive. I mean, not many players. That's what I'm looking for. Make it to 500 homers.
No,
it's a huge accomplishment.
And
I gotta let Nick talk more about this, just because I'm not the baseball fan he is. I mean, I watch, but I don't have much insight. So, but
Yeah.
definitely impressive.
yeah, I mean, like I said, just the idea that there's only been 28 people to reach 500 home runs in the whole span of Major League Baseball is just absolutely amazing to me. And I know that he's been hurt a lot the last couple of years. So there was talk. I mean, there was thoughts that maybe he wouldn't even be able to stay healthy enough to get to 500. But he was able to do it. And if I'm not mistaken, he's the second one to reach. No, Albert's had 500 for a while now. But Albert I think he broke some kind of record. Not record, but passed somebody this year. But I don't get on that trail. I just want to give congratulations to Miguel Cabrera, because
Huge accomplishment.
and I don't even know who in baseball is like even going to even get to 500 now. I mean, I guess people talk about Mike Trout.
I'm sure he'll get there. Shoot, Ohtani might get there.
The pace he's on,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, see, the only problem with Trout is Trout's missed almost all this year.
Mhm.
Like, he's been out since May, so he's pretty much missed.
Did you say how many years Miguel had been playing? Just to kind of put it
He's been
in
around
perspective.
for a while.
So he's been around for a while.
He's been around since at least, I think, 2003. So like 18, 19 years.
Yeah,
So
it takes quite a while to get there.
Yeah, I mean, he's been around probably around the same time Albert's been around. Albert's been around for almost 20 years now too. So it takes a while to get there.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, I wish baseball fans, like newer baseball fans, could have seen Miguel Cabrera play in his prime, because he was an absolute monster. Just like Albert. Albert was an absolute monster when he was in St. Louis too. So I mean, that's two players that I wish that I could have seen live, especially in their prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean that's the MLB news that I have. I see you're
also-
looking at some baseball news too that you want to go to.
I'll stick with baseball. Little League World Series is going on. I haven't watched a ton, but I gotta talk about this kid, Gavin Weir.
Speaking of beast,
Pitcher. I don't know how old he is, but he can't be more than, what's the age limit?
I think they narrowed it. Like, I think they stop allowing 13-year-olds. So he's got to be under 12 years old.
So 12 or younger. And granted, he's pitching to other kids, but still, it doesn't take away from this at all. Last 7 starts, leading up to and during the Little League World Series, 37.2 innings pitched, 526 pitches.
Yep.
1 hit allowed. No earned runs. 100 strikeouts.
I think you need to emphasize that this kid has allowed 1 hit in 37.2 innings.
526 pitches. 1 hit. 100 strikeouts.
That stat right there just blows my mind.
I mean, yeah, it doesn't say how many walks he's given, but he hasn't allowed no earned runs. Like, it's insane. So
mind blown.
So Gavin Weir, remember the name.
Which
we could see him. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing in the majors at some point. Like,
oh, no doubt.
Way down the road.
Yeah. Does it say which team he plays for?
Let's see.
I can't remember. Like, I haven't watched a whole lot of the Little League World Series recently either. I mean, I watched a few games here and there, but
South Dakota, I think. He threw a complete game no-hitter in South Dakota's opener.
oh, nice. Okay.
So
They're raising them boys right in South Dakota.
yeah. So that's I mean I know it's not major like any of the major sports, but that's impressive.
Still an impressive
So.
stat. And I know, like, what gets me is like people have been complaining when they see that he's thrown 500 pitches.
Mhm.
Because I mean, okay, I get that you want to look out for a little boy's arm, make sure he doesn't hurt himself. But at the same time, I'm like, just let the kid pitch.
Mhm.
Just let him go out there and pitch as much as he wants to.
Yep. Mhm.
I people are gonna find any and everything to complain about, and it drives me crazy sometimes. Just go out and let that kid pitch if he wants to.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean, if he trusts his coach, then he's gonna let his coach know if something's the matter with his arm or
Yeah.
something like that. So I mean, just let the boy pitch. Go
Mhm.
out there and have fun.
Yep.
I mean, yes, with those kind of stats, there is a big possibility that he'll go to college and get drafted to the MLB, but there's no guarantee. So if the kid just wants to go out there and pitch for his team and try to help his team win the Little League World Series, let him play.
Yep.
Just leave him alone. Leave his coach alone.
Yeah.
Hear me, people? Leave him alone.
Especially right now in the World Series. I mean, let's let him. I mean, he'll probably never play here again. I mean, especially if he is 12. I mean,
Oh yeah, if he's 12,
this
it's
is
last
it.
year.
So let him enjoy himself.
Yeah,
So,
go out and have fun, kid.
but I don't have anything NFL related. I mean, preseason's happening. So
Well, I did share with you earlier
Mm.
that Travis Etienne for the Jaguars is probably out for the year with a sprained
That's
foot.
right. So, and I hate it. It had to be a former Clemson, player. So,
Yeah.
well, again, stress this. I don't want any player to have a season-ending injury, but it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Always does. Can't avoid it. And I don't know if you remember, maybe 2 episodes ago, I predicted which team was going to be the
Yes,
first
you did.
season-ending
You
injury
predicted
in
the
practice.
49ers.
It was the 49ers, and I whiffed on that, but
I mean, there's
I
still
don't-
a possibility that the 49ers are going to have a very
Yeah.
big name player that
Yeah,
this
I know.
whole year.
I mean, I wasn't like picking on the 49ers. I just picked the name out of the hat. I just felt it, but felt wrong. Anyways, they're suspecting he's going to have to be out. It's not confirmed, but they're pretty likely.
They're
So-
pretty much projecting he's going to be out the whole year.
So hope he has a quick recovery and comes back next year because he was a rookie, isn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, Jacksonville, if I remember right, had 2 first-round picks, and
they
they,
took-
used it on Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, I hate it for the guy.
Mhm.
I hate to see any young guy. I mean, I hate to see any guy miss the whole year unless they play for the Cowboys. But I mean, I hate it for him. Like it would have been nice to see what him and Trevor Lawrence could do together on a NFL team. I mean, that would have been nice, but it's what it is.
But
Speaking of the Cowboys, I'm pretty certain that I've heard that there's a slight. I don't know how true these rumors are, that Dak might not play most of the year either. Like he just cannot seem to get past his injuries either.
so I watched the first episode of Hard Knocks. I still have to catch up on watch the second. I think there's only been 2, but that first episode
remember.
that they got into his injury and him coming back, he's practicing, but then the doctor said he was doing too much too soon,
really,
so he could hike the ball and drop back, but they would not allow him to throw the ball. And then they shut him down after that. So, and he got all pissed off. He was wanting to be out there, but
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know what's going on, but judging by Hard Knocks, I mean, if that's any indicator, there's some other issues there.
yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't know how true the rumors are. I don't know what all is going on with him, but I mean, I have read that. I mean, he's having problems shaking off the injuries that he's had. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
But
I mean, other than that, it's preseason. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, I could count on one hand the number of minutes of preseason football I've watched. So
I probably nap more during preseason than
And
I've actually
it's-
watched it.
it's just like, 'cause, yeah, I want to see our young guys, but like we've got Darnold, he's new to us. He's a rookie
Yeah,
in my
in a
opinion
new
for
system.
us. He's thrown last game. He threw 2 passes.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
So-
you would think that they would try to get him out there.
Maybe he'll play more the third game, but at least we only have 3 preseason games we got to put up with this year.
That's true. I'm ready to get into
Yeah.
some real football.
Yeah.
Speaking of real football, college football does start this weekend.
Yep. Week 0.
Yeah. I mean, there's really no like super like big games on. You know, you got to wait for week 1 for that.
Mhm.
But I mean, but it'd be nice just to have some college football.
Mhm. Yep. Who
Um,
did you say the biggest game was? You say Nebraska and somebody?
I think it's not. I guess
Probably
it'd
the
probably
biggest
be
game.
Nebraska and Illinois.
Whichever game is ESPN showing at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, I don't know. I have to look at the schedule because I know Nebraska and Illinois is one of them. So I mean that's 2 okay
Yeah.
named colleges right there.
Yeah.
I suppose.
But yeah, there is that to look forward to. So we're getting to it. We're getting into the fall. In
Yeah,
my
I mean,
opinion,
I'm-
the best sports.
Yeah, like I said, like there might not be any big names on, but
Yeah.
but I mean I'm just excited to have football back.
Yeah. Real quick, is fall the best season for sports? In your
Oh,
opinion,
no doubt.
you got the
no
start
doubt.
of football. You got the World Series.
Yeah.
Or the postseason going
I-
on.
Like I used to be a strictly spring person,
Mhm.
mainly because my birthday is in April. But in recent years, like I've turned into like a really big fall person.
Yeah.
And you know, college football, NFL, MLB playoffs. I think that's kind of just
Mhm.
kind of tilted my.
I'd say the only thing spring, March in spring technically is that, or is that the
Technically, quote on. I mean, that's when you pretty much start feeling the
Yeah, okay.
spring
So
spring weather.
March is in spring for our purposes. I guess the only thing it's got going for it is March Madness. You know. But,
Yeah, I mean, the only problem with that is if we never get back to an actual like
Mhm.
March Madness
Yeah.
feel, then it'd be all right.
but unless you've got anything, oh, do you have something?
I mean, I guess we could talk about. I mean, we're staying on the topic of college football. The ACC and Big Ten or which Big 12? Big 10
Oh, the
and Pac-12.
Alliance,
The Alliance.
which I hope that's what they call it if this happens.
God.
The Alliance.
Please just know.
It's the
Just no.
ACC, the Pac-12, and
Big 10.
Big Ten.
Yeah, making an alliance to kind.
Mm.
I haven't. Did you read anything into it? Like
No.
apparently it's just some kind of like answer to the SEC just trying to turn into a mega conference.
So it's got to be, just kind of like a scheduling deal. So they'll schedule more games against each other probably.
Okay.
I haven't read anything. The last thing I read it was they didn't know the details of it,
Okay.
but
Okay.
and if I had to guess, that's what it was going to be. So
That makes sense.
share,
then.
maybe share some TV revenue or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't.
But-
like I said, I didn't read a whole lot into it.
I mean, how long until we just have either one big conference, like all the Power 5 schools join together, and you just
Mhm.
have one big league, a la NFL style, even bigger than NFL,
Yeah.
or try to pull a European soccer football-esque Super League where, like, I would not be surprised if, like, say, your Alabama, your Clemson, your Florida State, your Ohio State, and your Oklahomas, and
Just
maybe a few others just break off. Hey, we're just gonna.
yeah.
We're the reason that our respective conferences make all the money, so we're just gonna break
Yeah.
off and form our own super
It
conference.
just aggravates me so much. Like I'm so.
Don't forget Notre Dame.
I'm so tired of it being all about money. I guess that's how the world is.
Yep.
But I'm just, but I mean, you might as well have not even calling conferences anymore, because we were talking earlier, like most of the time calling it the Southeastern Conference or the Atlantic Coast Conference doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because there are teams that are in these conferences that don't belong in these conferences. Like the ACC, yes, most of the conferences are, coastal states, but then you got Louisville.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to my mind. I mean,
Where the heck is Louisville connected to the Atlantic Ocean? Explain that one to me.
I don't know. Maybe they've got some kind of satellite state over here that just
heck knows.
an island that they just took ownership of.
A little Kentucky
I
island,
don't know.
yeah.
I don't know, but like,
And then you got the SEC, who's planning on bringing in Oklahoma and Texas.
yes, it's in the South, not the East, but they got part of it right.
It just drives me crazy. I'm about done with it. I mean, I love college football. I love the atmosphere that college football brings, and I love the excitement that it can bring. But when it comes to just money with some of these schools, and I get it. I get that your Ohio States and your Notre Dames and everything else brings in a crap ton of money. But when it ends up like this, then I'm kind of like, this is some bull crap. Whatever. I guess it's just the world we live in at the moment.
Yep.
So, but
I mean, they got to. How else are they going to pay for these multi-million-dollar state-of-the-art facilities? I mean, come on.
I guess
they got to do something. They got to be able to pay Nick Saban, a few $1 million a year.
Well, that's when you raise tuition again.
Yeah. Oh.
So.
That's what these tuitions is really paying for.
You think? I mean, when it comes to them big schools, I mean, you got to think that the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you're paying for tuition is at least going somewhat towards your head coach's salary. So
yeah,
it's just ridiculous to think about. I don't know. It just drives me crazy.
Well, just steer before we get borderline political. Let's just steer away from that. I
just thought we'd have a little bit of debate, a little bit of discussion, since we're on the topic of college football. So I mean, that was some pretty big news.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. It's it's going down the path of NCAA not even existing anymore. Which
wouldn't surprise me.
I might be okay with.
Well, I mean, people talk all. I mean, try not once again get too political, but people talk about all the time about how corrupt the NCAA is. That was the whole reason why people were ticked off that the NCAA could make money off of players' likenesses and stuff like that, but yet they couldn't. The players couldn't get any endorsements or anything like that.
Oh, and how dare they try to sell an autograph?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was the whole debate with that is, and the whole reason why people were ecstatic that college football players college athletes in general could actually go and now start to make money off of their autographs and pictures and stuff like that. So I mean,
and we can get another NCAA football game.
See, that's the thing that excites me the most about that. Other than the fact that I do not have a PS5 or a new what's the new Xbox anyways?
I don't know, Series X, Y, Z or something like.
Sure.
Xbox One Series X3. I don't know.
Banana. Anyway, I'm just gonna call it a new Xbox. PS5 and new Xbox. I don't have either one of those, so I'd have to get a new one to play it.
We'll get it. I'll get it, and we can come over and play it.
Yes. I knew we were friends for a reason. Right now, I just have to stick with my NCAA Football 06 on the PS2. Go team.
Yeah.
I think.
You got anything else for news?
No, I think.
No soccer news this week. Oh,
surprisingly, yeah. I mean, we heard. I mean, one of the guys at work told you today that Mbappe was going to leave.
Mbappe.
Yeah,
Mbappe.
Wherever he is now. Where's he at? Is he at PSG?
He's still, he's there, but he's wanting out, I guess, because he doesn't want to. He wants the team to revolve around him, and with Messi there,
jeez
it's
Louise,
not gonna.
Get over yourself. Like, pay me millions of dollars just to be a background player.
For real. But, I don't know. I used to like Mbappe, but I don't know. He's being a little dramatic, I guess.
You think? Soccer player being dramatic? Oh my gosh, I never would have guessed. So yes, okay. That's the soccer news.
Okay, yeah.
We can interject in this week
Yeah,
or this
there's-
week's episode.
And that's been Talking Soccer.
I mean, I don't really have anything else. Do you have anything else that you want to
I'm
talk
good.
about?
We can get into our topic.
Cool. So, let's move on. Like I said, for this week's main topic, we're gonna sit here and discuss just some of the favorite or some of our favorite sports games or things that we've seen live. And like I said, that can either be something that we saw in person or something that we've seen on TV. Because I mean, when you're watching it on TV, you're still technically watching it live. Sorry for you, Adam. There's going to be no YouTube videos. You can't just say that. Hey, I saw this.
Yeah, I watched the
quote unquote
highlights.
yeah, I saw it live. No, you have had to have seen it live. I have had to have seen it live. So shoot, there's something else I was gonna say. And there's really gonna be no lists, no ranking or whatnot. We're just gonna kind of play off each other and just talk about some of the stuff that we've seen. And it can be anything. It can be baseball, football, wrestling. Just
Oh man, I didn't even think about wrestling. That opens up a whole new.
oh God, are you guys ready for a
Buckle
2-hour
in.
episode? Well, I cannot believe that you didn't think about wrestling.
I don't
'Cause
know.
I at least have a couple
I
different
guess
wrestling
I was
things
thinking
that I've
about
seen live.
sports proper, like
Oh, here we go. Oh my! For the wrestling man, I can't believe you just said that wrestling was not a proper sport. Oh my gosh!
sports entertainment. I wasn't thinking about sports entertainment. But okay, I'll throw something in there. So.
Okay.
But real,
And let me one more thing. I'm sorry.
I'm
didn't mean to
sorry. No,
interrupt
you're good.
you. Now this doesn't necessarily either like it doesn't necessarily have to be the best games that we've seen. It's just something that we've experienced that we just enjoyed experiencing. Like this doesn't have to be the best games that we've been to or games that were like really close or anything. It's just something that we had fun at.
It just sticks out in our mind,
Yes.
and we just will always, there's games or events you go to that they're just ingrained in your memory. Like, I mean, I've been to a bunch of college basketball games and baseball games, but there's the certain ones that just stick out. So
Yeah.
that's what this is.
Yes. So if now that I've completely interrupted you,
No, you're fine. I just didn't know if, real quick, did you want to? I know we had some people comment on our post about their favorite moments.
That's right. And see, last listing episode we did, we completely forgot until the end to do the little people that actually commented on our Facebook group post. So it's definitely a good thing to start with that. Would you like to read those off?
So, you want to read the names of them? I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Timmy Sloan said.
Actually, I think that was Ann Cole.
Oh, well, Timmy and Cole Sloan. Is it a?
Yeah, it's. I think they're a joint.
Okay.
A joint account.
Okay. Says they went to App State's third national championship football game. Okay. Yeah. So
that was third in a row.
Yeah,
they were the first.
Yeah, that was the three-peat.
Yeah, weren't they the first FCS team to three-peat?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, the App was a beast. At that point.
That was like 2007 to 2009 or 10 or something like that.
Yeah, it was right before my college years. So I almost went to App.
So did I. Actually visited App and wanted to go there, but I slacked off in high school and they didn't want me.
They didn't want me first, but
that was a story for another day.
They made me jump through hoops, and I finally got in. I got accepted, and then I went to Western. So, no,
look where you are now.
I went to community college and then Western. So, Anyway, so they also said the other one, Wake Forest beat Duke at home in basketball, and we rushed the court. I may have been at that one. I don't remember.
Did the one you go to? Did the Wake fans rush the court?
I've been to so many Duke games. There's only one that I remember. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and talk that's one of mine. When I was, because me and my brother, I'm a huge Wake Forest fan. He's a huge Duke fan. We would go to. We haven't in the past couple of years because COVID and he's married now, so the extra ticket usually goes to her. But I may get one here and there. But it used to be every year, me and him and his boss and his girlfriend would go. So we'd have 2 Wake fans, 2 Duke fans.
Mm-hmm.
We'd go to the Wake and Duke game in Winston, and most of the time Duke would win, just because it's Duke. But there was one time, recently, that's what I was looking up before the show. It looks like it had to have been the 2013-2014 season. Wake won 82-72. See, I don't remember if we rushed the court or not. I didn't, but I don't know if it was
I don't know.
I do have another Wake game, but we'll get to that later.
Okay.
So, but that was just a good point. So that may be the same game they're talking about.
That's possible.
But that one just sticks out because that's the only Wake Duke game we've been to where I got to be the happy one at the end of the night. So what's some others? Diana Borges.
Yep.
Said watching the U.S. men's baseball team win the Americas tournament, and they were there in person.
Yeah,
So-
which if I remember right, that tournament was, I think that final was held in Charlotte. So I'm pretty sure that, because I think we're friends. I'm friends with. I don't know if you're friends with her on Facebook, but I know I am. And I'm pretty sure I saw those pictures, and they live in Charlotte.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that game was in Charlotte. So did she say that the game actually propelled the U.S. team to the Olympics?
Yeah, a solidified spot in the Olympics. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's I'm pretty sure that was probably a cool moment.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Lori, is that your mom?
That's my mama.
Mm.
Hey, mama.
Yeah, the '84 Miracle on Ice.
See, I'm trying to understand if she means the 1980 Miracle on Ice.
Maybe is that when the U.S. beat USSR?
That yeah.
So maybe
that was I think she made it mistyped.
It's okay. The 80 something.
Well, I mean, usually when you call it the Miracle on Ice, it's talking about the 80 Olympics. So I'm pretty sure she means the 1980 Olympic.
Yeah.
But apparently, I mean, she talked about watching it live, and I mean, I'm sure that probably. I mean, I've seen highlights. I've seen
the movie.
Miracle. I've seen
movie.
Miracle. Yeah. But I'm sure that was probably just an amazing moment to see live. I mean, you hear people like, it's almost up there as, all the America getting together after 9/11.
Yeah,
it's
well, I mean,
it's almost like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, she was talking about it during in the midst of the Cold War. So,
yeah. So
um,
just I'm, hear all the time about after USA beat Russia, how the whole country came together.
Yeah,
So-
people say sports don't matter, but
Oh,
so they bring people together.
Oh,
Sometimes,
that
like
sure
this.
did. And I remember after, getting off topic a little bit, I remember after 9/11, George Bush going to Yankee Stadium and throwing out the first pitch, and just all the little flags waving around, and just people, felt like it felt like America.
That was like the first game after.
It was the first game in New York after after 9/11.
Yeah, I remember that. So. And the last one, Chris Jordan
I used to work with him.
said, Game 6, Spurs and Heat when Ray Allen hit the 3 to tie the series. So I don't watch a whole lot of basketball.
Especially around that time. I didn't watch a whole lot around that time.
I know I've watched some Spurs because I was always a Tim Duncan fan. So I feel like I saw that one. I remember. I remember
haven't seen
a
it, so.
Heat, Spurs and Heat. Yeah, I mean, I remember a last minute shot, to seal to win the game. Sorry, I'm not. My sport basketball history, especially, is not that great.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, I'm sure that was a good moment.
And
so.
I'm pretty sure there's probably gonna be people listening that are gonna be like, yeah, that's a good sports moment. We're just,
Mhm.
up until recently, I just have not been a big I haven't followed basketball a whole
Yeah.
lot, so it's, I mean,
Mhm.
I didn't watch that one. I'm sorry, guys. Don't be mad at us.
But yeah, so and I mean, in the future, I'd like to read more of these people's comments on it. So we'll try to remember to, when we have these episodes like this, to post beforehand what's on, so
Mhm.
you guys can comment and
Yeah, because we love hearing from you guys. We love knowing. We enjoy having you guys just be involved in our conversation. So I mean,
okay. Now we've done that. So you want to go first? Well, technically, I guess I've already done one, so you go for it.
oh, I don't even know what sport to start with. Though. That's the problem. I guess. I guess I won't really start with the game, but I'll start with seeing some of my favorite athletes growing up. Actually, being able to see them live. I actually got to. I mean, like we talked about in the first episode. I'm a Baltimore Orioles fan, so and one of the most well-known Orioles is Cal Ripken Jr. So I was excited that me and my grandpa took me a game in, I want to say it was 2001, whichever year he retired. I think it was 2001. And I actually got to see him play right before he retired. So that was definitely a neat moment. He's another one that I wish I would have been able to see a little bit more when he was in his, a little bit younger, a little bit more spry, and just to know that I was able to see Ripken before he retired was.
How old were you? What did you say?
It was 2001, so I would have been
Like 11, 12.
Yeah, probably around there. I remember he didn't play third base, so I didn't get to see him in the field. He was a DH that game. But just knowing that he was in the lineup, just knowing I was able to see him before he retired was nice. And then that reminds me that my grandpa also took me to an Orioles game in 2013, or was it 2014? So it was 2013 or 2014, and actually it was 2014. And it was the 60th anniversary of the St. Louis Browns moving to Baltimore and becoming the Orioles. So what they did is they had a big old celebration after the game, and Ripken was there, and Brooks Robinson was there, and just a bunch of past Orioles, and that was just a fantastic sight to see. They brought out a red, actually I think it might have been orange carpet, but and they just rolled it out the outfield at the end of the game, and they introduced some past Orioles, and it was just a great sight to see. And I also remember that game because they played the Cardinals and ended up winning 12-2 by hitting 6 home runs. So it was almost like a home run derby that game. So I was able to see Ripken before he retired, and then even though I've been a Washington fan, growing up my dad was a big Packers fan, Green Bay Packers, and so that made him a big Brett Favre fan. And I mean I've always liked Brett Favre,
Brett Favre.
Yeah.
Get out of here, John.
Shoot. So yeah, he was always a Brett Favre fan. I always appreciated Brett Favre. So in 2004, my granddad took me to FedEx Field to see the Packers and at the time Redskins play, and Favre was. Okay. I remember that game too because it was on Halloween. It was a Halloween game. Okay. So yeah, so just being able to in the past see Ripken and see Brett Favre, two guys that I was big fans of as a kid was nice. Just being able to just see the both of them play. I mean, of course, Favre lit up the Redskins that day.
Oh,
So,
I'm sure. Yeah, yeah. Nah, yeah.
I mean, I was okay. My granddad, big Redskins fan, was not very happy because they lost. But
yeah,
what can you do?
yeah. I mean, I would have loved to see Favre play. I mean, I've seen. I mean, these aren't any of my memorable ones because I don't have any. I don't know specific games, but like I've seen Peyton play because I've been to a Colts and Panthers game.
Oh, that's
I've
nice.
seen,
Okay.
Seen Breeze, future Hall of Famer.
Mhm.
Saw Tom Brady in a preseason game.
That's right. I've
Brady and Gronk.
I've seen Brady in a
So-
preseason game too.
I mean, those are probably the most surefire legends that off the
Mhm.
top of my head.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's when it. Like I said, I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess technically those are like specific games, but
mhm.
I mean, to me, those are more memories
Yeah.
that kind of jump out to me. Just being able
Oh,
to
yeah,
see the
that's
both
awesome.
of them play.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Let's see, so I did Wake Forest. So this one so I've been to plenty of Wake Forest football games, but my first, I would say, huge like football game, like
Mhm.
college football game.
Yeah.
Last minute I was able to go to with my roommates at the time to the first game of the season for 2014, something like that. Clemson and Georgia in Clemson. So there's a rivalry there.
Mhm.
College game day was there.
Fun.
We like I won't. So the whole time wasn't fun because it was one of the worst like migraines I've ever had because it was so hot and
Yeah.
but miserable for until halftime. But I did get better. Got some medicine in me. But like just walking around outside, it was just packed. Students everywhere,
sure.
like
I'm
fans,
sure.
tailgates, like just the whole like I don't know if it was a quad or whatever where game day was set up. I was in like you
Mhm.
see it on TV. I was in all the students behind them with their signs. I was in the middle of that, and it was a good game too. I think Deshaun Watson was playing at that time.
That sounds right.
So it was close. I don't think I saw Clemson won like by 3 points. So
Those are always fun
so
games.
it was. I mean, it was the whole day, not just the game, but the whole day experience being there was just amazing. And that is like I went down, probably leaning more towards Georgia because I don't know, I don't have a reason for liking Georgia. They're probably the team I like the best in the SEC.
Mhm.
But that I came home a Clemson fan, not more than Wake, but like they're definitely my number two,
Mhm.
just because So and that was, that was just an amazing experience.
I would love to go to at least one college football game or game days there and
Yeah.
everything. Just the whole get the whole experience.
Mhm,
Like
yeah.
I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it stinks because the COVID year we had college game day in Winston-Salem at Wake Forest for the first
Yeah,
time
that's-
when they were playing Notre Dame, but no fans could go.
Yeah, COVID's ruined a lot.
Yeah, but that's I guess my second one technically.
Hey, that's okay. That's what we're here for.
Mhm.
I guess we'll stay on the college football trail. And one of the best games I've personally been to was for a span of like 4 straight years. For every Christmas, my mom would get me tickets to the college bowl game played in Charlotte.
Mhm.
And at the time, it was known as the Meineke Car Care Bowl.
Mhm.
I went from like 2005 to 2009, something like that.
I went to one of those.
Yeah, we talked about this before. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure we were at the same game.
Yeah.
Didn't know we were at the same game at the time, but so probably the best one I went to was 2006,
Mhm.
and it was Boston College, led by none other than Matt Ryan.
Mm.
So yes, people,
Matty Ice.
I did get to see Matty Ice play for Boston College. So it's Boston College and Navy had actually had some kind of agreement to play in the Meineke Carker Bowl
Okay.
for that year, and so the game was it was probably one of the best college football game I've ever been to. And I remember Navy took a really late last second lead and forced Boston College in a 3 and out and all they had to do was just get a first down, run out the clock, and I forget it's been so long ago that I don't remember most of the players, but they tried. Navy does their little triple option, so they went for a pitch, and dude fumbled the ball. All right, so that gives Matt Ryan a chance to march down the field. At the time, it was 24-22, so they needed a field goal. Yeah, Matt Ryan marched down the field, set him up for a 30-some yard field goal, kicked it. Time expired. Boston College won 25-24, and I'm like, because I actually had a chance to take my stepdad. My stepdad was he's a Navy man. He was in the Navy, so I thought be no perfect person to take than him to go see Navy play. And so I was rooting for Navy that game, and just to see them lose the way that they did,
that's rough. But yeah, it's
it was
still a
entertaining
good game.
That was, like I said, that's probably one of the best games I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
to. It was a fun experience. I mean, I think that if you get an opportunity to go to any of those small time college bowl games, like the Meineke, I guess
It's Duke's Mayo Bowl.
It's a
is
Duke's
what
Mayo
is.
Bowl
It was
there.
Belk Bowl between there.
yes, but the games that I went to, the atmosphere was actually quite good, and I just think that if you have any opportunity to go to any of the small town bowl games,
Mhm. Yeah.
they're a pretty fun experience.
Oh yeah,
So-
for sure. Yeah, and I mean I don't remember a lot of details about the one I went. I know we were playing Wake. And it was Wake, and that's why I went.
That's UConn.
They were playing UConn, and Wake ended up winning. So
I think that one was 24-10.
Yeah.
So there wasn't
Yeah,
really a whole lot of
nah,
closeness in that game.
but we walked away happy. So
Yeah.
But yeah. So my next one, I'll go for one I saw on TV. It was really the beginning of my Panthers fandom. I mean, I was always a Panthers fan, but this is what started off. 2003 divisional playoffs versus the Rams.
Oh, that's a good one.
I went back and watched the highlights of this game not too long ago just to refresh my memory. And so I was on a ski trip with the Boy Scouts, and so we were in the hotel, and down in the lobby a bunch of people was watching the game. So we watched it with them, and to go into what was it? Jeez, how many overtimes was
It was
it?
double overtime.
Double overtime. There was at least
was.
one overtime.
Mhm.
And it, that was that still the Rams great? It wasn't the greatest show on turf. For
Pretty sure it
Rams.
was.
Was
Pretty
still
sure it
them.
was,
So
yeah.
I mean, they were the favorites.
Yeah, it was as far as I know, it was still Kurt Warner and Marshall Falk and
Mhm.
Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce.
Yeah. So and so they ended regulation. Well, let's see, 11. I'm not gonna do that math. Anyway, so they were tied, obviously. So no points scored in first overtime.
Which is
Which-
when you think about it, that does not happen.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess at that time, any points, because a field goal would have
Yes,
ended it
yeah.
at that time. But so they went and, second overtime, and we're watching it. Everybody cheered when it went into, second overtime. And my favorite player, this probably was one of the moments that sealed Steve Smith being my favorite player. It was I didn't realize this, but watching the highlights, it's like the first play
It
of
was.
the game,
Yep.
no, of the
Yes.
second overtime period. They just throw it, and it's like a 60-yard touchdown pass to Smith. He's running end zone, arms open, and it's just
Game over.
Game over. And like the whole lobby like was just erupted and like just cheered
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah,
And
that's a good
you
one.
know, and then that just to kind of tag on to that, that eventually led to our first Super Bowl.
Yep.
So that's a memory in itself. We lost, but it was the first franchise history Super Bowl, and against still newbie Tom Brady. That was their second Super Bowl that they were in, and it was close. I think we lost that one by 3.
Yeah. Well, see, if I remember right, the Panthers were down a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, well, not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They were down very late in that game because I remember because
Mm-hmm.
I had just moved to North Carolina, so. And to know that the local team was in the Super Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
I was rooting for them. And when they just kept getting behind, I'm like, I'm going to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember my mom woke me up and was like, "Hey, Panthers came back." So unfortunately, I was up enough to watch the ending of that game, which like seeing Adam Vinatieri just.
Mm-hmm. And it was like, I feel like we could have won that. And you go and say what could have, if this would have happened, we would have won. But it's like not that moment where I think it was tied, and then John Casey, he's always money, but he kicks the kickoff out of bounds, so they got on their like 40-yard line.
Yeah,
got into field goal range.
Tough. Like you can talk so many times, or you can just talk it over and over again and be like, "What if?"
Yeah.
But
Like
it'll drive you absolutely insane.
Yeah. And I could talk about the Super Bowl 50, their second one, but like I was definitely more hyped for that Super Bowl because we were the favorites, like because we were 15-1 that year.
Yep.
And I'm like, yeah, there's no way we're gonna go in there, we're gonna beat old man Peyton into the ground, and we all know what happened. So
yeah, crap the bed a little bit.
So that's why that first Super Bowl was really, the one I remember the best.
Yeah, with no name Jake Delhomme, the quarterback. I might actually stay on the Panthers train for a minute because probably the best NFL game I've been to was a Panthers game. It was probably the one and only Panthers game that I've been to, and it was the following season, 2004. The Super Bowl took place in 2003. We went to a game in 2004. And, this was a year that, the Panthers was just coming off the Super Bowl run. They didn't play very well down the stretch in 2004.
No, they did not. Because that was my first game I went to that year. And I've never seen them win, so
Gotcha.
if that tells you anything.
Yeah, that's rough. So we actually went to the very last game of the year. So it was like an early January game.
Oh,
right? Wow. I don't know why we did it. I don't know how we was able to convince my mom and stepdad to do it, but we were there, and I remember that they were 7-8. Playing the Saints with an opportunity to go 8-8 and still make the playoffs. All right, trailed the whole game, got within 3, 21-18, got the ball back at the end of the game, drove down the field for a John Casey I came here for like 40 or 50 yards, and he went to go kick it and it got blocked, and they ended up finishing that season 7-9 and missed the playoffs. But I just remember that game because it was so close. They had the opportunity to make the playoffs from that game, and just kind of crapped the bed a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, that's the only Panther game I've been to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've been to more. And like I said, unfortunately, I think this is why I say I'm cursed, because I've never seen my Panthers win live when I'm there. Like, I mean, except I don't count preseason. I saw them win a preseason game, but that doesn't count. So it's like I'm hesitant to go, but you know, it's still fun. I'll go again. But so
Well, maybe we can find a way
Yeah.
to go to the Panther Washington game.
There we
this
go.
year, and that way,
Hopefully.
that way you can rub it in my face.
I don't know.
if they do win.
I don't know.
So,
Washington.
Yeah, don't you dare drop that name, sir.
Washington is they've got a lot of people are giving them have some high hopes for them this
Yeah,
year.
our boy Kevin.
It just depends on what Fitzpatrick version you get.
That's true. Yeah, our boy Kevin
Pick them to win the division.
picked them to win the NFC East this year. So
Well, if it's like last year, the NFC least, you could
Yeah.
win it with a
8-9
8
record.
and 9 record. But I guess I'll do a wrestling one since you threw. I mean, this could be a whole topic by itself. It's our favorite wrestling moments. but
no doubt.
I'll leave it. I'll leave it to one. Okay, I'll limit it to one.
Made me feel bad because I got 2, but okay.
I can throw a second, but I mean, I got others I want to do too. So, WrestleMania 30 is just the whole show was amazing, but 2 moments in particular. Daniel Bryan winning, the whole storyline leading up to
Uh-huh.
that.
Yep.
The going against the Authority. He didn't win the Rumble, so it was going to be Batista versus Randy Orton.
Yeah, we know how all the crowd just crapped all over that.
So and this is the fans changed this storyline because it was going to be Batista coming back winning the Royal Rumble, beating Randy Orton.
Yeah.
But the fans pushed so hard for Daniel because he was their guy.
Yeah, that was
our guy.
That was the beginning of the Yes movement.
Mm-hmm. So he worked his way in. He had 2 matches. He had to fight, wrestle.
I remember.
Triple H at the first match of the night, and if he won, he got into the main event. And he got in. It became a triple threat match, and he ends up winning. Of course, the Triple H and Stephanie come out there, try to keep him, hold him back, whatever, but he overcomes it. And
well, if I remember right, too, after the Triple H match, Triple H storyline injured him, just completely beat the crap out of him to add more to that story, which is amazing. That's probably some of the best storytelling from WWE in recent years.
Yeah, that's the best. We crapped all over WWE earlier, but I'll give them that. That's probably my favorite storyline that they've done in the past. 10 years.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree.
I mean, there's been some other good ones, but that one and probably the Summer of Punk that they did. And then so he ends up winning, and he's just holding up both belts at the time, and just it was in the New Orleans Superdome, the Mercedes-Benz, and the whole crowd just doing the yes chant, just in unison, I can't imagine what it would have been like to be there in that crowd.
Yeah.
So, and that's why WrestleMania's on my bucket list at some point. Yeah, still, I know we crapped all over WWE, but if you think I wouldn't go to a WrestleMania, you're killing yourself. So
that's I agree. I've wanted to go to WrestleMania since I was a little kid. And so I mean,
and the main part that this puts that pay-per-view on my list was the Undertaker streak, and it was I don't know, I still haven't decided if it was a good moment. It was shocking for sure, but because he was 28 or 9 at that point, and
was it that many, or was it? I don't remember where his streak was.
Or maybe it was.
Was it 22?
It might have been 20. Okay, maybe 21. It was 21.
That's right, 21-1.
21. So undefeated, and Brock Lesnar, and of course it's the streak. It was one of the few sacred things there was in professional wrestling.
Yep.
And when Lesnar pins him, hits him with F5 and pins him, and it was almost silent. But we didn't know what to do at home watching. The announcers didn't know what to say. Paul Heyman
was in shock too.
You got an Undertaker guy. The meme of it where he just mouth agape, just
another guy in the pantheon of wrestling memes.
It was just like there were no words because it was just
Mm-hmm.
so unexpected. Like he was going to retire with that streak intact, and no, there he goes.
We-
21-1.
We could probably spend a whole episode talking about, Brock Lesnar ending Undertaker's streak because, like, on the surface, I absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
I hate the fact.
I
I
hate-
hate the fact that they gave it to Brock.
Yeah.
There were so many guys before Lesnar that I feel like
Mhm.
should have broken the streak.
I know why they did it because he was supposed. They were building him to be this unstoppable monster. Like nobody, like he was just so violent and nobody could beat
Yeah.
him.
Now I do. It does kind of soften my stance when you hear that Taker like picked Lesnar
Mhm.
specifically to be the one to do it.
Yeah.
But still, we talked about Punk and how he, the reason why he quit WWE. I look at Lesnar beating Taker's streak and being like, well, they give all this crap to part timers. That it's like,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
it drives me crazy the way that WWE does their things sometimes. So, but we could talk another
Yeah.
3 hours about that.
Yeah. and I guess another big part of that show was the opening. You had Rock, Stone Cold, and Hogan all in the ring coming out.
Hogan messing up where
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was.
the Silver Dome. But it was good. Like
I'm in the Superdome, brother.
yeah. So, but yeah, I'll let that be my one wrestling.
No, if you had another one, go ahead. Because I'm sitting here thinking, I said two. I actually have three. So.
I'll take it back to when I was little. It was my first live wrestling event I went to, Fall Brawl, 19. It was like 97 or 98, something around there. It was in Winston-Salem, Joel Coliseum.
What was the main event? I can tell you. I can tell you if it was 98.
It was the so it was the 3-ring or two or 3 ring cage match.
Two ring. Yeah.
They had 3 teams. Team Hollywood.
That was 98.
Okay.
That's funny. Is you saw it? I mean, you were there,
Mhm.
but me and my dad actually watched that one.
Yeah.
That one live. So.
So
Anyway,
was.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're fine. Like I mean, I don't remember a ton about it. I mean, because
Yeah,
I
it
was
was-
like 8 years old.
Yeah. No,
But,
it was Team Hollywood Hogan or Team NWO, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, Team Hollywood. Then you had
Yeah, Team WCW
mhm,
and Team Wolfpack.
Team Wolfpack, and I couldn't tell you who won, but I remember because Goldberg was my guy.
DDP did because
Okay.
that led to
Team
their-
WCW. Yeah.
that led
Mhm.
to Halloween Havoc, Goldberg versus DDP, which
Mhm.
is probably considered one of Goldberg's best matches.
Yeah.
So
And I mean, Goldberg was my guy, and I was disappointed because he wasn't scheduled to be there.
Yeah.
And so I was out at the kids getting food or whatever, and I heard Jericho came out there, and he's calling out Goldberg. I'm like, wait a minute.
I know where you're
'cause I
going
could
with
hear
it,
the
yeah.
speaker out there, and then start playing his music. And so me and my best friend, we start rushing back to our seats because I'm not going to miss Goldberg. And it's, was it Gilbert that come
it's
out?
Gilbert, yeah.
This scrawny little dude. And I'm like, really? You're going to tease me like this?
Yeah, if you guys did if you guys did not know who Gilbert is, go look it up now. Look up Goldberg and then look up Gilbert.
Important. Look up Goldberg first.
Yes,
And then
just
go
to
look
see
up
what's going
Gilbert.
on. It's great. I forgot about Gilbert. That's
But,
great.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do some more wrestling-centric topics
Yes.
later, maybe during Rumble season or WrestleMania
Oh,
season
yeah, I
or
mean,
something. So,
And we could spend whole episodes
Yeah.
just talking about wrestling. So yeah, I'll stay on the topic of wrestling. I guess the biggest thing that I've ever attended live for wrestling, and I didn't even know it at the time, was I'm gonna take you back to 1998 again. My birthday,
Mhm.
April 27th,
Uh-huh.
1998. My dad and my uncle who they were both big wrestling fans too. So I was living in Virginia, so they're like, we can either take you to Monday Night Raw, which was in Norfolk, or we can take you to WCW Nitro, which is in Hampton Roads. So they're like, they're literally like right down the road from each other. Okay,
okay.
Don't you ruin it for me. Put that Eve on me, Ricky Bobby. So, I mean, growing up, I feel like I leaned more towards WCW. But for whatever reason, I decided to choose going to Raw that night. All right. So sitting there, I mean, there's quite a few fun things that I got to see the Undertaker live. I don't remember who he faced, but he tombstoned the crap out of him. So that was nice. I got to see Stone Cold. He beat Goldust. So I mean, I got to see those two. But the big thing was, so we're just sitting there, and on the big screen, here's DX driving a tank.
Yep.
What do they do? They go down the road to Hampton Roads, Virginia, to the doors of WCW, and try to enter the arena. So yes, I was there for the night that D-Generation X, quote unquote, invaded WCW.
See, I knew as soon as you said right down the road, I knew exactly where you were going. This is on many top Monday Night War lists.
And I mean at the time I didn't know the significance of what I was watching, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, oh my gosh, I was actually there that night.
I wonder what it was like inside the WCW show. I wonder if they showed. Surely they didn't show on the screen them outside.
I don't know. Like for what I understand, like Eric Bischoff wanted nothing to do with the whole thing. Like at the time, he says that he wished that he would have let DX in to get more publicity, but at the time he wanted absolutely nothing to do with. I mean, there were fans outside Nitro that knew that DX was there, so but like I doubt they showed anything inside.
Yeah, looking back, like he definitely says he wish he would have opened the door. Because imagine the ratings that. Both shows or his show would have got, but what a time! What a time to be a wrestling fan.
It was absolutely like looking back at it. I'm like, I can't believe I was actually there. Actually, I can't actually believe that I chose Raw over Nitro that night too, and that's what it ended up being.
Probably that was probably the right choice.
Yeah, it was no doubt the right choice. So. But yeah, so that's always ingrained in me that I was actually there that night, and it was on my birthday. It's like that was probably the most.
Makes it even better,
yeah. And then the other one I had that was live is my first and I think my only WWE pay-per-view was in 2003, and I was able to convince my mom, my stepdad, and my youngest sister. She's younger than I am, but she's older than my other two. But I was able to convince them to go to Judgment Day in Charlotte.
Oh, the one I have your DVD of right now.
Yeah. And man, that was probably the most fun experience I've ever had. It actually started off really good too, because at the time, Stone Cold and Eric Bischoff were co-GMs of Raw. Okay. So Stone Cold actually started off that show. All right. So we're sitting there, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go up to that press box, drink a couple beers, eat a couple hot dogs." And so we're sitting there, and we're like, "Is he pointing at the press box above us?" We're like. So he gets out of the ring and comes to the little barricade, that lead up to the steps where I am. And of course, I'm on the end, so I'm probably like peeing my pants a little bit because Stone Cold's about to walk up my steps. And sure enough, he comes walking right up. Me and my sister Erin both got to pat Stone Cold right there on the back.
Slap on the back.
He spilled a little bit of beer on me. So, I mean, like, it was just an amazing experience. Like, you have my DVD, so
I
eventually you have to watch it. But
because I don't think you told me that, so I definitely got to go watch it now.
If you go and watch it, you can actually. I mean, you can see my whole family, but I mean, me and Aaron just were like patting him on the back, and then we both turn around to each other and we're like, "Oh my God, we just patted Stone Cold Steve Austin on the back." But yeah, I mean, like it actually started off like that. That's how our evening started, and like. To me, I mean, it's probably made a whole lot better by the fact that I was actually seeing it live. It was my first pay-per-view, but like I just feel like there were a lot of good matches on that show too. Like there's a ladder match between World's Greatest Tag Team, which was Shelton Benjamin and Charlie Haas, who were teaming with Kurt Angle. So it's like Team Angle, World's Greatest Tag Team, whatever you want to call them. And they faced Tajiri and Eddie Guerrero. And so it was like a ladder match for the tag team titles. So that was a really good match. And then the main event of that show was Brock Lesnar, who I actually liked at the time, because we're talking early 2000s Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
So one that you actually believe gave a crap about the wrestling business. But it was him and Big Show in a stretcher match. And like I remember just being so invested in the story because it's like, well, how is Brock Lesnar going to get Big Show out on this teeny tiny stretcher? Well, he ends up because I remember because Big Show quote unquote injured Rey Mysterio like weeks before, and Rey Mysterio came out, distracted him. Brock Lesnar ran to the back, and they came crashing through the set on a forklift, and put a stretcher, like one of the little pick up and carry stretchers, on the forklift. Rolled Big Show onto the forklift and drove him across the line to win the match. Like to me, that was just a fun main event. I mean, I swear, if you don't want to watch it by yourself, like we actually have to go back and watch this show.
Which I mean, I think WWE Network doesn't exist anymore, and I don't have. Yeah, they're all on there, but I'll watch it between that or your DVD.
Yeah,
at some point.
You definitely got to give it a try. Because I mean, it was just a fun show. And then I guess like the big thing that I can think of that I've seen live, but it was on TV, was at the 2008 Royal Rumble, and that was when John Cena made his surprise return.
Yeah, I've watched that one.
Like me and my buddies at the time. We were all big wrestling fans, so like none of us expected Cena to make his return.
Because wasn't he legit injured, and it was supposed to be an injury that took like a year or something to recover from. And he came back
if I remember right, I think that was his pectoral tear or whatever it was, and it was supposed to take him like a year, and he came back in like 7 or 8 months. So nobody expected him to return. And like what's crazy is I mean Cena's had his moments where the fans just absolutely hated him, and I think this was around that time where half the crowd was go Cena or Cena sucks. But I remember this. I'm pretty sure that Rumble was in New York City.
Yeah, it was at the Garden. I watched it not too long ago.
Which New York fans are known for just completely crapping on people that they don't like. But I remember as soon as Cena's music hit, like everybody erupted. Like there was not a Cena sucks chant whatsoever. Like as soon as his music hit at number 30 and he walked out, like everybody was going crazy. And I think me and my buddies probably marked out a little bit too.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
But yeah, so that was a fun experience.
Oh, for sure. Like I mean, just watching the replay of that, I mean, I got goosebumps, and I didn't even knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
But
definitely get. I even got chills just sitting here thinking about it. So
yeah, like man, I've got a couple Royal Rumbles. I'm going to save those because I'm sure we'll do maybe a Royal Rumble centric show at some point down the road. So
especially with the Rumble coming up in here in a few months.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we can just make a whole episode about it.
Yeah.
We won't bore you guys with a whole lot of wrestling talk this episode.
Yeah, well, here we go. We're at an hour and 25 minutes. So,
you might as well keep going then.
Yeah. How many more do you want to do? Because I got my top one that I'm going to do, but if we're like, I want to save it for last. So if we're doing one more, I'll do it now. If we've got 2 more, whatever you
think I've talked about most of my big ones. So if you just want to go ahead and do yours, then we can call it.
Okay, real quick, I'll say, okay, I went to this isn't the one I was talking about, but there was a Wake Forest and Miami basketball game. I forget what year. Miami was ranked. I want to say they were like 2 or something. It was after college, so it was 2012, 13, around that area. I had free tickets, but couldn't find anybody to go with me. And we're going to lose anyways because we're Wake Forest, not ranked, and they're number 2 in the nation. So I'm watching on TV, and at halftime we're winning. I'm like, okay. So by myself, I decide to go because if we win, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I go in, I make it maybe halfway through the second half.
Nice.
And we're still winning, and like I'm standing I didn't even go to my seat. I just stood there at the balcony there, and we won. And that, I know they rushed the court at this point. Like, we just flooded the court. Like, and I hate that I was not down there on the bottom level because I would have run out there too by myself. Like, and that's the only time I've ever gone to a sporting event by myself too.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I had to see it. So that's just a quick thing, and then real quick, the Appalachian beating Michigan.
That's right.
Like this was a big deal. 2007. Like, granted, that year Michigan turned out not to be Michigan that they always are, but this was the first game of the season.
Nobody knew that at the time.
Nobody knew that, and like they're in Ann Arbor, and their fans are like, "Where's Boone?" And they block a kick. Or a field goal attempt to win it, and they run it back and win the game. And I remember seeing videos of Boone at the time tearing down the goalpost.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like, they just carried that thing through the streets of Boone, and like, I'm pretty sure I heard a story. They just like skewered like a van with that goalpost, and like, oh, back up, and it like they're like, what are we gonna do with this thing? They like planted it in the chancellor's front yard.
That's funny,
like,
yeah.
Like, because I mean, I had friends that were there and hearing stories, so that was one of the biggest upsets I remember watching. And I saw that.
Well, and see, that was another instance that, like, at the time, I didn't really like know the significance of that. Like, because I didn't watch it live. I remember I was at my grandparents' house, and we were watching some other game, and they cut to the highlights of it. They're like, big upset in Ann Arbor, but I mean, as the years pass by, it's like, everybody's talking about biggest upset ever in college football. Small little FCS school beat at the time, I believe they were number 5 in the country, and just it was absolutely wild.
Yeah,
and if I remember right correctly, like, losing to App knocked Michigan completely out of the rankings. Like, I which has never happened before. Like, no other team has gone from number 5 or whatever to just completely not ranked at all. So
yeah, and of course that was the same year I think it was their 3rd championship, which we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So, but now my main one, and you're probably like, oh, you're talking about Wake Forest. You got Panthers, you got Clemson. Like, what is it? Like, okay, well, Western Carolina basketball.
Okay.
I'm going to paint you a picture here. So, we're not good at we're better at basketball than we were football. But 2011-2012 season, finished the regular season 8-10 in the conference, 17-18 overall. We were essentially played a play-in game for this tournament, and we beat, I don't know who all we beat to get there, but I know we beat UNCG. We made it to the tournament championship in Asheville, and I had like a final the next day, and I'm like, screw it. Me and my best friend there, we went, we were sitting in the student section. We're playing Davidson, who has since left. I don't know where they are now. Whatever, but like Davidson's where I think Steph Curry went. So
that sounds right.
They were part of the Southern Conference for a long time. Their conference record 16-2, overall 25-8. So we were large underdogs, and we end up losing by see, what was the final score of this? 93-91,
Oh.
double overtime.
That's rough. Yeah.
Like,
Oh.
yeah, it's like, how's it a good memory? You lost. Well, that is the most electric crowd I've ever been a part of.
Bet,
Like,
I
I mean,
bet.
like, we were flipping out, like, just hands on our head, like, after every time it went into, we would hit the shot, the last minute shot to send it into the next period. And, like, the band's right beside us. They're going crazy. Like, we're on ESPN, too. So I think I have a screenshot of me on TV.
Oh, nice.
And it's, like, our chancellor's running up and down the aisle. Just, he's getting pumped. Everybody pumped up. And it was... And then to end in such heartbreaker like that. And, like, that was probably going to be our maybe second time ever if we won going to the big dance.
That's tough.
Because-
That's tough. That's so tough.
But I mean, it still remains probably one of my most memorable moments live. You know,
And there might be a day that it beats it to where you actually do get to
Yeah,
see Western
I mean-
go to the tournament.
I mean, I'd love to see him going to the tournament, and I have hopes. You know, because I mean, right now we've got Justin Gray, who former Wake Forest player, coaching.
Well, see, I mean, Western's basketball team's actually been fairly
Yeah.
decent,
Yeah, I mean-
decent the last couple of years. So,
So, but yeah, I'll never get over just the energy in that building, or at least in my section.
yeah,
So,
Yeah.
you know,
yeah, that sounds like a
mhm.
really fun time. I mean,
No.
not fun seeing your alma mater lose, but
Yeah, but I mean, we actually after the game we met back on campus. We at the Ramsey Center, the basketball stadium, and as they met the team as they got off the bus, and you know, kind of high fived them. Yeah, they lost, but you know, it was definitely a successful season considering how they finished. You know,
Oh, yeah.
the regular season,
Yeah.
how they finished. So
yeah. But I mean, I feel like that's a really good one
Yeah.
to end on. I mean, there's a couple more that we could probably pull from our memory to talk about, but I mean, I feel like if we get into any more conversation, we're gonna start creeping up towards the 2.5 hour mark. So I mean,
Yeah.
I think that probably be best just to save some for another episode. Maybe have a part 2.
yeah, might have to do it part 2 to be continued.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like it's been a
Yeah.
fun time.
Oh, yeah, like,
reliving some of the memories that we've had.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, more will be had. You know, so we'll like, you know, sports are never end. So it's,
Yeah, I'm sure
yeah,
we'll have.
I'm sure all of my Panthers ever win a Super Bowl. Oh, geez, can't imagine what I'll do. I'm already told Kelsey I'll get a tattoo, much to her chagrin. But she says no. But we'll see.
Big old panther on your back.
Oh yeah, but we'll do something. But anyway, you got anything? Any announcements? Or anything like that?
I mean, just for the guys that have signed up, I think we actually, if I saw right, we actually have.
No, the last guy just called me in the middle of this. I couldn't answer, but
Well, now that if I have seen right, then our fantasy football league is completely full at the moment.
sweet. So we, I know when you're hearing this on Friday, we've already filled it. You know, we feel like we had to do some teeth pulling to get this thing filled. I wanted more
Listeners,
listeners.
And we're not mad at you guys. We're just.
No.
I mean, it's just you know, this was our first year, so you know we're not, you know, out there quite as much.
Yeah, and
but,
hopefully in future iterations of this, we'll have more.
yeah, like I think we definitely plan on having this go on for
Yeah.
years to come.
Yeah,
But
it's my plan at least.
oh yeah, that's another thing. Fantasy football never ends
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah, so we increased it from. We had a hard time getting 12, but then we ended up. I asked some people that I knew, and between them letting me know and them telling me, between me asking them and them telling me, hey, we want to play, we filled it up to like 11, I'm like, hey, I got 5 people. I'm like, oh, geez. So now we're at 16. But
We're at 16 people.
I've never played in a league this big. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be very interesting. I'm notorious for keeping a healthy team whenever I have 10 or 12
Yep.
people. So if one of my star players gets hurt, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do this year. So it's going to be
Might make it harder.
interesting.
So,
I'm definitely going to make it harder.
so
I'm gonna have to, pull from the third string wide receiver from the Raiders.
yeah. Well,
If you know who the third string wide receiver of the Raiders is, you can let me know. Let me know if he's any good, because I have no idea.
yeah.
I love me some football, but I don't know football nearly that much.
No.
So
Well, I guess I'll plug I'll go ahead and plug our social media accounts. That's your job, I guess.
social media manager.
Yeah, social media manager.
All right. So we're talked about before. We're on Facebook. We have our own group. If you just go on Facebook, search up in the search bar, type in "Cheering from the Cheap Seats." Our name is so unique that don't think you're going to find a whole lot of people called Cheering from the Cheap Seats. So that first one should be us. If
Yep.
not, then find us.
Search harder.
Yeah, exactly. But I try to stay pretty active on the Facebook page.
Yeah,
I know you.
You're definitely better at that than I am. I'll still like and comment here and there. I'll post a few things.
Yeah,
but
at least you're
I
kind of
try.
active. At least
I
you're
try.
not. At least you're not completely stagnant.
I don't really do the Twitter. That I have a Twitter and I'm on there and I'll read it. I don't really do much posting.
Yeah. Well,
The Twitter.
the
I
Twitter.
sound like a 70-year-old. It's like the Twitter. What's the
Who am
what's the Twitter? Did I just tweet? I don't know.
No, Adam, you didn't just tweet. But so I like. Anyways, veering back on track. So I try to stay pretty active on the Facebook group. You're fairly active too. I mean, like you said, you post and you comment. We would love for you to join us. We're always just posting stupid crap. Like we'll post memes or funny pictures or. We haven't been to too many games lately. The couple games we've tried to go to have gotten rained out, so we actually haven't been to too many games lately. But we do post and let people know where we're at and what to expect from our show. Definitely, I think right now our Facebook group is at 74 people.
Yeah.
So let's get it to 174. That'd be
There you
nice.
go. Yeah, 200, 1,074.
A bajillion and 74. I'm aiming for it. I'm gonna do it. Bajillion and 74. Let's just start with 174.
There you
Okay. So yeah, we're I mean, come join us. We try to have a little bit of fun on our Facebook group. So that's Cheering from the Cheap Seats. We're also on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. And that's Cheer Cheap Seats. We couldn't get the Cheering from the Cheap Seats for those. The name's a little too long for those handles. So we had to go with Cheer Cheap Seats on all those. Which we try to stay active on those. It's just I feel like it's a little bit easier to stay active on Facebook. But,
Yeah.
I mean, I do post stuff on Twitter. I do post stuff on Instagram. I try to post some videos on TikTok.
Yeah.
And let people know on Snapchat whenever there's a new episode. But I feel like if we get some more followers and get some more interaction, then that will also help try to stay more active on those social media platforms.
Yeah.
But we're definitely looking for followers there. I guess the only one I can think of is our Twitch account, which unfortunately I haven't been able to do a whole lot of on recently. But we do have a Twitch, which is Cheer Cheap Seats. Do try to live stream sports games here and there. Haven't had a whole lot of opportunity recently to play any games because life and all. But just hop on there and give us a follow and
Yep.
come join us whenever we do get the opportunity.
Yeah, and we'll try to put something out on the Facebook group whenever we're gonna, whenever we're gonna go live.
Yeah.
A few minutes beforehand, so you kind of have a heads up.
Yep. Am I missing anything?
I think that's it.
I guess the only other thing I can think of is so me and Adam there's a website that we like. It's called Sports Passport. And that allows you to keep track of every minor league baseball game you've been to, every major league baseball game you've been to, any NFL game you've been to, college football, what else do you track of? NBA, NHL, and we recently made an account just so people can keep track of, what games we go to since we've started this show. So, I mean, if you want to hop on sportspassport.com and follow us, we're cheering from the cheap seats on there. I was able to get that handle name.
Yeah, it's cool because I think it'll tell you players you've seen at those games.
It'll tell you top players you've seen, tell you the records, records, like all-time record of the teams that you've seen and stuff like that. So it's a really fun website.
Cool.
Like I enjoy going onto it. I thought it'd be, like I said, I made it because I thought it'd be kind of fun to just keep track of games that we've been to since we started the show, like where our show has led us. So if you guys want to join us on there and just see where we've been, and have at it. But I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Be sure to like and not like, but follow, subscribe, whatever your podcast platform does on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, just the Anchor website, wherever. And leave if it allows you to leave a rating and review, do that because that really helps us out. So
that helps us get through the algorithm.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you can do that on other than Apple? I don't feel like there's which stinks because I feel like I wish more would do it.
You would think Spotify would allow some sort. They let you follow, but there's no rating system as of yet, which
stinks.
It's unfortunate because actually Spotify has become my favorite. I mean, I have an iPhone, but I prefer listening on Spotify than Apple.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man, now Apple's going to come after us.
Cancel culture.
All right, well, if that's it. We'll want to end it? Or
yeah.
I don't know how to end this thing.
I know. I'm sorry. I completely threw you off by talking about something else.
Land this plane.
All right. Well, guys, we just have so much appreciation for all you people out there that are giving us so much support, so much feedback about how to make our show better, what you guys want to hear. I know that we're still new at this. I know that this probably isn't the most fancy show that you've heard. I mean, you can listen to probably Joe Rogan or somebody who's been doing it for a bazillion years now, and I'm sure his show sounds 1,000 times better than us. But we do this for you guys. We do this for us. We just want to have fun with it. Yep. So we just appreciate so much support that you guys are giving us.
Absolutely.
And we hope that you just had a good time listening to our sports memories. If you have anything else that you would like to add, just feel free to Facebook message us or direct message us on Instagram and Twitter. I guess until then, you guys keep cheering.
See ya.